How do I do that? I forgot.
I just requested to join.
Says you joined.
Great. Looks like I'm connecting.
Excellent. Okay, everybody. After 4 minutes of technical difficulties, we are here. Happy to be here. Sorry for the delay. Welcome to the next in the Complete Wellness Community Forum series.
Sorry, I'm back.
Good. I have to make this lower. Good. Much better. We're a little out of practice. We've been away for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're a little rusty over here.
A little verklempt. Anyway, we're back. Welcome to the Complete Wellness Community Forum. Welcome, Diana, the Complete Wellness, Functional Wellness Registered Dietitian. And tonight, we're going to be talking about sleep. So here's my question to kick off. What the hell is all the fuss about? What's everybody making such a big deal about? It's just sleep.
Yeah, it's kind of reminds me of how people always say you can't out supplement a poor diet. I feel that you can't out eat, out exercise, out anything good quality sleep. Honestly, this week I found myself telling people to sleep in, if like to and this is certain people, especially women with hormonal imbalances right now, to choose sleep over waking up at 6 a.m. to get to that workout class. Because some people need it.
Okay, here's the big question. Why?
So there are so many reasons why. I know you know probably more than I do.
Give me three.
Okay, so one is that it is so important to get enough sleep to prevent metabolic disease. Insulin resistance. Why do you see so many people with sleep apnea who have insulin resistance? For regulating our blood sugar, our hunger hormones, our cravings, for keeping our hormones in check. And then also just because good quality sleep actually helps us rest and repair and be in a good mood every day.
So what's the connection between better sleep or more sleep and hormones? I don't get it.
So there's a lot of connections. One, I'll go through like two of them. But one of them is that if you are not sleeping well, likely cortisol's off, right? Likely you either have too much cortisol circulating at night, maybe it's circulating at all the wrong times, and that is going to impact your thyroid and going to impact your sex hormones. I say this all the time with my clients with hormonal imbalances, but if you have our reproductive system is the only system that can technically shut off at any point, right? You can just remove it and therefore, and it can keep, everything else can keep working, right? You can give any woman a hysterectomy and they'll keep on living and working just fine. So if you're not getting enough sleep, oftentimes hormones are the first thing to go by the wayside because your body gets into this kind of like panic, fight or flight mode. That's one.
So not getting enough sleep makes your body stressed?
Yeah, it can cause more inflammation. Exactly. Because your body starts to think like, I can't rest, I can't repair, I can't do any of the things that I need to do to get myself on track. That's why you feel so awful when you don't sleep.
No, I feel so awful because I'm tired.
Yeah, and that's a sign of inflammation, fatigue.
But can I be tired without inflammation? Like, do
Yeah.
those two things always go hand in hand?
If you're generally fatigued all the time, that's a pretty good sign that something's going on. But if you're
Okay, but not necessarily inflammation.
if you're occasionally tired, no.
No. We're talking about somebody who has fatigue, but often you hear people say, "Oh, I feel like I sleep so much and I'm tired all the time."
I would automatically think blood sugar and cortisol connection right there.
But isn't their cortisol repairing itself when they sleep? I'm being a little contrarian tonight because this whole sleep subject is difficult for people to wrap their minds around, I feel.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I'm just going to push through. I'll get 4, 5, 6 hours. I can get up and I can go to that workout class, no problem. And maybe I'm a little tired and I can catch up on the weekends. But I don't think it's not making me healthy. I don't think it's making me not healthy, I guess was the better way to say it. Okay, I'm a little tired in the afternoon. I shut my eyes for 5 minutes and I'm fine.
If you need to take a nap in the middle of the day, though, that's not a good sign. You should be able
But
to
naps are healthy.
if you really, really need them, but you shouldn't be needing them every day. You should be able to get through your day.
Not needing. I like taking a nap. Naps are very zen. Am I being too difficult?
No, you're not. There's just sleep is just so important for like I have yet to find somebody who doesn't feel better with more sleep. I mean, there's too much sleep on the other end of the spectrum, but in general.
Okay, so sleep affects hormones. What else does it affect?
It affects our mood. It affects our hunger, our cravings. It affects.
Wait, I'm more hungry if I don't sleep, or I'm less hungry if I don't sleep?
You're more hungry because you release more of the hormone ghrelin, which is our hunger hormone, and less leptin, which is the hormone that tells you you're full. So some people think like, okay, you go to a wedding, you don't sleep much, you drink a lot, and then you're really, really hungry the next day, and they kind of blame like the hangover. But I actually usually blame the sleep, although alcohol doesn't help. But like if you only sleep a few hours, you're going to eat more. And part of that too, although it affects those hormones, is because it impairs sleep. I mean, it impairs driving, it impairs your ability to make decisions the same way that alcohol would. Not enough sleep impairs your ability to make decisions and drive. You're just as dangerous having too much alcohol as you are not sleeping.
This is getting serious.
Yeah, it's serious.
So, how much sleep should a person get?
So there's two things. On average, 7 to 8 hours is what I find most people feel really good with. Now, what's more important than just getting 7 to 8 hours is actually having a consistent schedule. People get so focused on the number of hours that they're like, it's okay if I sleep from midnight to 8 a.m. one day, and then from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. the next day. But it's more important to wake up and go to bed around the same time and have like a daily routine.
Why?
Because you just get better quality rest in general, and it sets yourself up for success in the long term. If you're only sleeping and focusing on your number of hours of sleep per night, you're less likely to have that be a consistent long-term play. You're living like moment to moment. I say the same thing with food.
So is quality of sleep an issue? Like, is all sleep created equal?
No, technically you should be getting enough deep sleep, enough REM sleep, rapid eye movement. You should have a balance of both. But deep sleep has been argued to be the most important one.
How do I know if I'm getting enough deep sleep?
You should feel rest and repaired and like good in the morning, although it's not always the greatest sign. You should, honestly, I think if you're being woken up in the middle of the night or being woken up in the morning and you're in a lot of deep sleep, it's going to be very hard to wake up. So that's one way you could tell.
But maybe I'm just in my deep sleep early in the morning.
It's less likely you get deep sleep early in the morning. Less likely. But I think the best way to tell is to track it personally.
Okay, but what's short of tracking it? How does a person help themselves get more deep sleep?
So
they're on a schedule, they're trying to do the right thing, 8 hours. How do they know if they're getting enough deep sleep? Not how do they know? How do they?
Sure you are.
Yeah.
There's a ton of things. So one is getting on a regular schedule. Two is avoiding like bright light before bed or in the evening hours because it disrupts your circadian rhythm, decreases melatonin, increases cortisol. Third is making sure that you're getting enough sunlight during the day. I always say what happens during the day is what impacts your sleep. Making sure you're getting sunlight in the morning so your body knows it's time to wake up. It's time to actually be productive, and then no fake blue light at night so you're ready to wind down.
Okay, let's get specific. No blue light before bed. An hour before bed, 2 hours before bed, 3. I mean, that doesn't sound very realistic. Is television blue light? If someone's watching TV?
But they can get blue
so
light.
So what? No Netflix? Give me a break.
You can use blue light glasses. Blue light blocking glasses.
Aren't those BS?
No. They
just
work.
People trying to make money.
No, they really work. They block the blue light so that you might not notice a difference, which is great, but you'll be able to fall asleep a little bit better and get deeper sleep. Also, not eating too close to bedtime. That's another one.
All of this, to be honest, sounds very restrictive in terms of, is it worth doing all this stuff to get a little bit better sleep?
Tell me what's restrictive about this.
I have to finish dinner by what time?
Well, what time are you going to bed? Let's say 11. So finish dinner by 9.
2 hours is enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can't watch TV?
You can, but just wear blue light glasses.
Do blue light glasses come in prescription?
They do. Felix Gray.
Huh. Good to know. And what was the third thing you said we couldn't do?
Get sunlight during the day. What else did I say? Oh, get on a regular schedule.
What's the benefit? Okay, so I do all these things. I sleep a little bit better. What am I going to see? What am I going to notice? What's going to happen?
So if you have any kind of metabolic disease, say diabetes, insulin resistance, you're struggling with your weight, there is no question that's going to improve. There's other things that you should do alongside of it. Nothing.
So if I'm not losing the weight that I want to lose, it could be because I'm not sleeping long enough or deeply enough.
Correct.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to write a book together. We're going to call it The Sleep Diet.
Mm-hmm. You'll also notice your stress goes down, so you're going to eat less because you're less stress eat. You're less likely to stress eat. You're able to think more clearly, so therefore you become less stressed. There are so many benefits beyond just the sleep itself. It's like a trickle-down effect.
So I wear one of these things called an Aura ring. An Aura ring tells me, I'm actually not wearing it right now. I'm having trouble connecting to my new phone. My Aura ring tells me how much deep sleep I had, how much REM sleep I had. And often I'll wake up feeling rested, feeling good. And I'm like, oh, let me check my Aura ring. And my Aura ring says that I didn't have enough deep sleep and I didn't have enough sleep. And I'm like, am I supposed to be in a bad mood now?
No, you shouldn't let the tracker affect your mood. I just
Then
would use it as
what the hell
information
good is the tracker?
for good information. So you know to go to bed early the next night, to focus on your sleep routine, to focus on going to bed early in the future, it's good insight. And it also helps you become more intuitive with yourself because you should think about how you feel and how sleep affects how you feel.
By the way, to everyone out there, I'm not being a pain in the butt just to be
You're
a
like
pain
the
in
biggest
butt.
sleep guy out there.
But these are the questions that I hear all the time with these same tones, with all the same stuff. So that's why I'm just mimicking what I hear from patients and coaching clients and all that all the time. People don't get it, and it's a little bit hard to get them to get it. And I'm just mirroring back their pain in the tush attitudes about it.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting about sleep is that you can cheat yourself on sleep in the short term and probably never notice it. But in the long term, it's really going to start to affect your health overall. And that's the thing I think is really important. Weight is certainly one of them. Concentration is one of them. By the way, a lot of car accidents happen, they have now discovered, because people are not getting enough sleep.
That's like the drunk drive. It's equivalent to drunk driving.
That's right. The Amtrak accident that happened in Westchester 10 years ago, maybe. It turns out that that poor man had sleep apnea, was a poor sleeper, and he fell asleep at the wheel of the train, and people died. Terrible story.
Yeah.
Terrible story. So we think we can get away without sleep. We think we can. And we can for one night in a week, maybe 2 in a week, maybe, but not ongoingly. It's really important to get proper amounts of sleep. In fact, if a patient comes to me and gives me a laundry list of symptoms and it says, okay, now what are we going to do? And I say to them, how much do you sleep? And they say, oh, 4 or 5 hours. All the stuff that we can do will not be enough without them getting enough sleep. Sleep helps you to heal. And all that we can do for you at Complete Wellness is to facilitate your healing. We can't do it without you participating and doing your job and setting up your body to really heal appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
So sleep is super duper important. So you gave 3 important tips. Give 2 more. Run through 5 tips.
Make sure
What's
your
interesting,
room is short.
by the way, we talk about all the time that this community forum is about all things wellness. And we're always talking about nutrition and what supplements to take and things that, go in your mouth. Sleep is the variable that could trump all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So we should probably touch on sleep every time. That's how important it is. So what are your 5 tips for better sleep?
Make sure your room is cold, ideally in the mid-high 60s, and dark.
Okay, I have a real question about that I've never understood. I think we may have talked about it a couple weeks ago. Your room is 68 degrees, let's say, but you're under the covers and it's 150 degrees in there or something like that. How does the cold outside of the blankets help you sleep? Do you have any idea about that?
Well, I think that's why people get lighter blankets in the summer, no?
Don't know.
And like some people have chili pads where they put like a chili, like a mattress pad on top of them to keep them cooler. And some people are sleeping with just the covers like on the bottom half of them and they're out the rest. So I think it depends on the person and what they're doing. But yeah, if you're sweating in your sleep and you're using a down comforter from the winter, you should probably start there.
Okie dokie. Good tip. By the way, do you know why that is that we like the cold room?
It's because our body temperature increases at night, right?
That's not what I read. What I read is that it's because evolutionarily, we didn't have heated homes. We're used to sleeping in caves
That get cold at night.
that get cold at night, and that's just how our body is set up.
Interesting.
But it's also funny you say that because I often get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or whatever, and I'm hot and I take off my t-shirt. Maybe I have too many blankets. It's a good thing my wife is listening. Okay, so cold room.
And then the other one is, because this is such a common one, is no caffeine after 2:00. For some people, it's even noon.
Right. So those people are probably caffeine sensitive. They probably get a little jittery if they have a second cup or a third cup, even in the morning. Those people should really avoid caffeine after noon. 1, 2 o'clock, absolute latest.
Yeah, there's definitely people that can get away with it, but there's people that don't realize that it's impact. Like they might not feel jittery and then they can't sleep at night.
Good. So cold room, quit the caffeine early, turn off your phone, or wear blue light glasses, get into a routine.
And watch your caffeine late in the afternoon. You gonna say?
Good.
And then, wait, one more is get 10 minutes of sunlight first thing in the morning. Make it 6.
Okay. Sunlight first thing in the morning. By the way, if you're wearing glasses, you should take your glasses off when you get the sunlight.
Sunglasses.
Because you should take off any glasses when you get your morning sunlight, because the glass may filter out some of the rays that stimulate the pineal gland. Little known
all glasses. Good to know about all glasses.
Little known fact. If someone feels like they need some kind of nutritional aid to sleep, what do you suggest?
So first I try to figure out, do you want to know like what I really do, or you want me to just list out some herbs?
Do you take anything before you go to sleep?
So it depends on I try to figure out if it's a blood sugar issue, because then you really actually have to change your diet, because your blood sugar dips in the middle of the night, causing your cortisol to increase, which is often that 2-3 a.m. wake up time. That's one thing. Herbs are not even necessary. Another is if your cortisol.
What is necessary?
What is necessary? Sometimes a good quality snack before you go to bed, like nuts or like something high in fat and protein. Sometimes which is interesting because it goes against the intermittent fasting, but for some people, that's what they need. For others, it's actually managing your blood sugar all day long so that you're actually able, like sometimes you're eating awfully all day long and then it impacts your sleep. And then if you are having issues sleeping beyond that, then we start to look into cortisol. And so there's a few herbs that can reduce cortisol in the nighttime hours. And that often manifests as like a racing mind, feeling very awake when you wake up at whatever time it is in the middle of the night, or just like not being able to settle down. Maybe you're feeling your heart beating a little bit faster. And so some of my favorites are L-theanine, valerian, passion flower, ashwagandha, magnolia bark.
I hear a lot people say to me, oh, I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or whatever, and then my mind kicks in. Not necessarily racing, but I start to think about work or money or whatever's bothering that particular person.
My advice is, are you lying there thinking about that you have to go to the bathroom, but trying not to? Because inevitably you're going to go to the bathroom and then that thinking starts the thinking and then you start to wake up because you're thinking about going to the bathroom. So my advice is get up and go to the bathroom before you can even think about it. And the second piece is, if that doesn't work, then you look into the other pieces. Because you might not be waking up because you have to go to the bathroom. You might be able to have held it quite a few hours longer, but you're waking up because of cortisol or blood sugar issues.
Got it. So what should that person take? The person that has the tendency to wake up for whatever reason, bathroom, mind, what could help that person be calmer in the middle of the night? Get to sleep more easily so their mind's not going.
The same ones I was saying.
Say them again.
L-theanine, passion flower, valerian. But like if you had to pick one, I would do L-theanine. It's for like the monkey mind in the middle of the night.
Got it. But the worst thing you could do in the middle of the night is turn on your phone, right?
Yeah, which anybody who complains of sleep issues does, right?
Not anybody, but many.
Mm-hmm.
What's a better thing to do than turn on your phone in the middle of the night?
Meditate or read.
Read on your phone?
No, on your Kindle or your book.
Kindle's okay?
Yeah, if you have it on the night mode.
Good to know. So we went over a little bit because we started a little late. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask? Please post in the comments. I meant to say that, of course, at the beginning, but I forgot because we started late and I wanted to jump right in. Are there any specific questions about sleep? We said a lot tonight about sleep. We covered a lot, some really important issues, because sleep is potentially the number one ignored health issue.
Mm-hmm.
So if there are no questions now, feel free to direct message Complete Wellness and we will definitely answer your questions. If you would like help with your sleep, feel free to come into the office to see Diana and or myself, and we can get you going in the right direction. If there's a particular topic that you'd like to hear more about, Diana and I have a list as long as my arm, but it's a list that we created. So maybe there's something that you'd like to hear about. We would love to talk about that and give you the information that you're looking for. So if there's a topic, post it in the comments, DM us if you're Something just popped into my head.
What?
If you're embarrassed, maybe we need to talk about sexual health. That's something people want to know more about. And we don't talk about it a lot, and it's not talked about a lot out in the open like we do here.
Yep.
Maybe we should put that on the list.
Works for me.
Maybe we should talk about it next week.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Next
I can
week.
talk about hormones.
Next week, sexual health. Sexual health next week.
We'll see you there.
We'll see you there. Thanks for coming, everybody.